You're pacing around your apartment, muttering things like, "Okay, where did I put my keys? Oh, right, next to the milk I forgot to put away 3 hours ago." Congratulations, you're either a totally normal adult trying to function, or you'd be tossed into an asylum if this were the 1800s. Back then, talking to yourself was considered a clear sign of madness, like lock you up and lose the key level crazy. People believed only the mentally unwell would dare carry on a conversation with no one. Because heaven forbid someone be self-aware or working through a thought process without a town hall meeting. But modern psychology? It loves your weird muttering. It's called self-directed speech. And it actually helps with memory, focus, and emotional regulation. Athletes do it, students do it, your mom probably does it when she's trying to not slap her 37 tabs open on a Monday. Your brain treats your own voice like a cheat code. Speaking things aloud activates both hearing and motor areas, making thoughts stickier. You're not losing your mind. You're literally coaching it. So next time someone gives you a look for whispering, don't forget the password is banana82. Just smile and say, "I'm optimizing my executive function." Then go back to arguing with your oven timer. Believe it or not, there was a time when reading too much was considered dangerous, not for your eyesight, but for your soul. Back in the 18th and 19th centuries, reading for pleasure, especially fiction, was blamed for everything from hysteria to insomnia to moral collapse. Women were particularly targeted. If you were a young woman caught nose deep in a novel, people worried you'd get too many ideas, like independence or worse, opinions. Reading was said to overstimulate the imagination, unbalance the humors, and possibly drive you into some Jane Austen-flavored insanity. Doctors warned of reading mania, where people became addicted to books and withdrew from society. There were literal case studies blaming novels for mental breakdowns. Like, this man read too much Voltaire and now thinks he's a chicken. Today, reading is practically prescribed. It improves cognitive function, reduces stress, boosts empathy, all the things that are very not crazy. If anything, we now shame people for not reading. You haven't read 47 books this year? Do you even exist? So yeah, go ahead and binge read that dystopian romance about radioactive mermaids. You're not losing your grip on reality, you're just preventing dementia. Apparently, journaling is trendy now. There are whole YouTube channels, TikToks, and Etsy shops dedicated to the art of emotionally bleeding into a $38 leather notebook. But rewind to the early 20th century, and writing down your feelings, especially in detail, could get you slapped with a diagnosis of neurosis or obsessive tendencies. In psychiatric circles, compulsive documentation of thoughts was considered a symptom of over-intellectualizing or dissociation. Basically, if you were writing too much about your inner life, people assumed you were dangerously close to living in your own head full-time. And to be fair, some people were, but for most, it was just thinking out loud with a pen. Today, journaling is lauded for boosting mindfulness, reducing anxiety, organizing thoughts, and helping you not text your ex at 2 a.m. Therapists recommend it. Apps gamify it. Bullet journals make it Pinterest-worthy. You're not unraveling. You're offloading your brain's emotional junk drawer into a safe, non-judgmental spiral-bound void. Basically, it's therapy without the copay. Also, if journaling makes you mad, so does every author who ever lived. And they seem to be doing okay. Well, most of them. If you lived a few centuries ago and told people you were taking a long, solitary walk to clear your head, they might have assumed your head needed more than clearing, maybe cleansing or exercising. Back then, wandering alone without a purpose was associated with melancholy, madness, or, my favorite, nervous disorders. Because apparently needing a break from human noise was code for mental unraveling. Even philosophers weren't immune. Nietzsche, diagnosed posthumously with overwalking hysteria. Okay, not literally, but people definitely raised eyebrows at how much time he spent striding into the void. Now, solitary walking is the ultimate life hack. It sparks creativity, helps you process stress, boosts cardiovascular health, and lets you avoid Karen from accounting at lunch. Some of the most brilliant minds in history swore by it: Steve Jobs, Beethoven, and even TikTokers who need their hot girl walk. So if you find peace walking aimlessly while pondering your to-do list or the heat death of the universe, congrats. You're not unstable. You're mentally exfoliating. You're alone in a room. It's silent, no movement, and suddenly, you feel it. That weird tickle on the back of your neck, like someone is watching you. But there's no one there. Today, we'd call that a perfectly normal quirk of the human brain. Evolution baked in a hypersensitive danger radar. Early humans who didn't assume a predator was lurking behind them didn't last long enough to pass on their genes. But for most of history, that sensation wasn't just survival instinct, it was a symptom, a sign of paranoia, or spiritual disturbance, or demonic attention. People were diagnosed with delusional perception, or worse, accused of being possessed or haunted. Even in early psychology, persistent feelings of being watched were labeled as clear signs of schizophrenia or psychosis. No nuance. No context. Just boom. Here's your padded room. Now, we know it's just the brain's pattern detector going a little haywire, especially in quiet or unfamiliar places. Your mind's running background threat software 24/7. Sometimes it flags nothing. Sometimes it's right. Either way, it doesn't mean you're crazy. It means your brain is trying to keep you from becoming a Netflix true crime special. Today, if you say, "I had the weirdest dream last night," people will ask if you're okay, laugh with you, or try to analyze it like a horoscope. But rewind just a few generations? That dream meant you had a secret message from another world, or a cracked psyche. Ancient cultures saw dreams as divine communication, gods whispering through symbols. But in later centuries, especially in the early days of psychiatry, vivid or bizarre dreams became a red flag. You weren't just dreaming, you were suppressing trauma, harboring forbidden urges, or developing a disintegrated personality. People with intense dream lives were often considered unstable or emotionally unhinged. Freud basically built a career saying your dreams were about your parents. Jung went full mythological. Everyone else just assumed, yeah, dreaming about teeth falling out probably means madness is coming. Now, vivid dreams are considered healthy, a sign of brain activity, emotional processing, and deep REM sleep. Your dream about flying over a haunted IKEA while your ex turned into a dolphin? Totally normal. In fact, not dreaming at all can be a sign of poor sleep or psychological burnout. So don't be afraid of your night brain theater. Unless your subconscious starts charging for popcorn.